listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. We had a few little glitches on getting started.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in there.
You know, what did the deranged entertainment director say? The show must go on. So what I'm trying to figure out right now is how to share this
Who are you?
My name is Jose Jimenez. No, I'm Jackie Paget Baird.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
And we're the co-producers, co-creators of Flush Your Fat for Good. And we have a book in Amazon and also on our website called flushyourfatforgood.com. You can find that in the storefront.
And we are not a diet. We are a lifestyle. And we're concerned with health. And our emphasis is, and our concern is globesity in the world because it's of epidemic proportion. And if you look at our children and you look at, I mean, if you go to a gathering and you can pay attention to this, you know, during these holidays coming up, that probably 3 or 4 out of 10 people are more than 20 to 40 pounds overweight. And that's not acceptable. When you're 20 pounds over fat, you're in trouble. And you're going to be heading down a road that will continue to have you gain weight and with that, your health declining. So we wrote the book to share our experiences. I had clinical experience in practice for more than 30 years, 34 years, I believe. And Jackie has been involved with nutrition and diet and food, healthy foods and healthy eating for at least 30 years. So combined,
and your assistant.
Yeah, she worked in my office and cracked the whip. She cracked the whip. And she ran my supplement room. I had so many supplements, tens of thousands of dollars worth of supplements from real food in my room that I would recommend to patients to help them with their health, because most of the time today, which is going to be the subject in our podcast, is most people are getting empty calories, and a lot of it is from sugar. And when you get the sugar into your body, those are empty calories. There are lots of calories, but they're empty. And what happens is you continue to gain weight and you go into something called insulin resistance, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to continue to gain weight. And it's a very, very discouraging, frightful, horrible, depressing place to be in when you start to creep up the scale 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds overweight.
Right. And then, of course, after you've gained a lot over the holidays, you think you're going to take it off on the January 1st for your New Year's resolution. That's not what happens.
We did a podcast on this subject, and the studies have shown, science have shown, if you do that and you gain, 10, 5, 7, 10 pounds, 12 pounds, 11 pounds, whatever, over the holidays because you said, oh, heck with it, I'm just going to eat. Guess what? That doesn't come off. And you continue to gain weight because you're doing damage. You're creating a situation, physiological situation in your body where you're not going to be able to control it. So thus, we have put an emphasis on the holidays and how to be able to eat and enjoy yourself and not miss, what you think you're going to miss, which is the sugar.
Well, I think I've got the Facebook happening now.
Yeah, we're on Facebook.
You know what? And I can see myself. I have never noticed myself the way I text.
Oh, she's...
I've never seen that, man.
You're like Liberace. She's like Liberace. If you know who Liberace was, he's like this.
Yeah.
Well, some of those people out there.
But I text that way. I'm like...
Yeah, that's Liberace.
That's right. Anyway, we, as we were just talking about, and I was just trying to get us shared on all the Facebooks.
We're
and
in our
groups.
Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies Facebook room, and we're doing it live, in there every week. But if you'd like to come into the room, please request to join, and we will be happy to accept your request.
We're excited to share a new before and after. It's Myra Gallagher. She is, and I'm hoping we can get her up on screen. Myra Gallagher, we're so proud of you. And did you know that?
Well,
you know
I
her?
saw her in the room, Myra. I saw you in the room, but I had no idea. Most of the time we have no idea. And then suddenly the pictures appear and we're like, oh my God, It is easy to do.
But I mean, it was shocking because she was just talking about how she had been. You have to go into the room and read her story because it's just amazing. But we always like to open up sometimes with a before and after or a few before and afters. This one just popped up the other day, and I was like, oh my God, she looks so much younger. This is her before picture, and then shortly you'll see her after picture.
There she is, her after.
And it's just.
She looks so much younger.
Yeah.
And toned, and my God, she's more than half. She's like, one, not half the size, but almost more than one half the size.
Yeah, it's worth reading her story, and it's really
she's a good story,
inspirational because she just got the book. Okay, we have the workbook, which is 44 pages, and this is your blueprint. We call it the Kitchen Bible, and then of course you can get our textbook, I call it, but it's really easy reading.
It's our reference
reading.
book.
Yeah.
Everything you wanted to know is explained in that
book.
It's on
Amazon.com, and you can also get it on our fleshyourfatforgood.com. And that actually gives all the reasonings, like what you just said, the science behind it, the emotions behind it, the reasons and how it got started, and also the stories of a few people that are very important to us. Senior coach Jennifer and Kathleen Powell, who wrote the book with us. And I mean, there's a lot of things in this book. It's easy reading. Some people just get our book here and get started, but we also recommend you go to the website. We also have a holiday special.
Right,
with
I
the
was
book.
going to say that. Do something fun. Let's plan now to do after the holidays, or start now and get the holiday special and get a buddy with you to do it.
Go to the store. Go to the store tab on top of our website and go in there, and you'll see the bundles that we have for the holiday. And you don't have to worry about it. I mean, if you have a friend or a sister or a brother or a neighbor that's overweight, and you can just show them your book and just say, you know what, Merry Christmas. I'm going to give you the gift of being lean and healthy for life.
Right. And we're going to do this.
Yeah, we'll do this together. Here's, so you can get the book, you can get the workbook. It's all bundled, and it's very cool.
Correct.
Also, our starter kit starter kit 1 is very cool, and you can give people that to get started. Today for Did You Know That, for Dr. Vicki, I started reading this article after. Did you post this?
I posted the article.
I was like dumbfounded because, picture speaks 1,000 words. But I really liked the fact that, people, they don't realize, they think sugar just makes them fat.
It's poison. It's not good. It's not good.
This is Did You Know That segment. So Dr. Vicki's going to do how science explains 7 things that happen in your body when you stop eating sugar.
We always talk about the dangers of eating sugar, and let me just share a quick experience I had. I had some work done on my house over the last weekend for a few days, and as my little guy was leaving, my worker, he's like a handyman, but as he was leaving, we were in the front yard, and he was telling me about how he woke up one morning and he was so sick. And I says, how old are you? He goes, 38. He says, I was so sick. I just didn't feel good, and my stomach was out to here. And he says, I touched it and it was hurting. And he says, it was horrible. I couldn't get up. I was tired. And I says, so what did the doctor say? He said, the doctor said I had a fatty liver.
A fatty liver.
A fatty liver. And
he's 38,
I said,
fatty liver.
He says, and I don't drink.
Right.
He says, I might drink twice a year, have a little drink on the holiday or something. He goes, but I have friends that drink instead of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, now they start drinking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He goes, they drink every day.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I don't do that. He says, but what I did do, and the doctor told me, was I ate sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, so the doctor told me this is becoming a huge concern. It's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And what happens is it can get so advanced that you actually get hardness or cirrhosis of your liver as a result, if it gets bad enough, just like an alcoholic. It's the same presentation of the liver.
It's NASH.
Non-alcoholic
No, NASH is with
steatorrhea hepatitis. That's hepatitis.
That's hepatitis.
No,
the other one is NAFLD.
NAF, non-alcoholic fatty liver
Right.
disease.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, I gave up sugar. And I was telling him, I says, this is, your business is to do my house. My business is to help you with your liver. And yes, you have to give up sugar. He goes, I have. He goes, I gave up sugar, and he lost 20 pounds. He goes, I feel so much better. It doesn't hurt anymore. He goes, you know, my aunt, he says she's 70, she was 75 years old. She died from cirrhosis of the liver.
Oh, my God.
And she never drank a drop.
There you go.
And I said, she had the same thing. He goes, oh, yes, you know, sodas and sugars. And
Well,
so
that was the road he was heading down.
that's what happened. And
Right.
he learned right away. So I like this article. I posted it in our room because I liked it because it talks about the benefits of stopping sugar. But, you know, we want to go through the beginning just because.
I want to make sure, did we put up that picture too, our trusty engineer, of the sugar, the before and after?
Oh, this kid?
Yeah. We'll see if they can. Yeah, okay. We're getting it up.
Anyway,
Mhm.
let me just go through this and he'll
Yeah.
post it.
Okay.
Because that's going to be about the skin, which I'm going to get to.
Yeah.
But listen to this, guys. About 20% of Americans eat more than 700 calories of sugar per
700
day,
calories?
which is equivalent to 1 cup of sugar a day.
Oh, my God.
This is disastrous to your health. And not only is it a disaster, it causes weight gain. But to put it in perspective, it's equivalent to having 2 sodas, soft drinks, 2 soft drinks, and 1 slice of cake.
Every day.
Every day. That's a cup of sugar. Okay? So, and that's about 700 calories of sugar. And the problem, which I mentioned just a minute ago, is that sugar may have 700 calories, but it doesn't have nutrition. It's empty calories, which is void of nutrition. There is no nutrition in sugar.
Yeah,
So-
so that picture's up right now.
So what
Yeah.
you're going to have is people soon after they eat that, like soon after they eat the sugar, they're going to be hungry, you know, because it's empty calories. Now, people, you know, say, well, I'm going to eat health foods. You know, get me to the health food store and I'll just buy a bunch of health food and that way I won't have the sugar. Not looking at the label, you know, people just grab granola, they grab the bars, they grab the yogurts, especially yogurt. Oh, let me eat something healthy, and they grab yogurt. It has tons of sugar in it.
Right.
Not only sugar, but fructose corn syrup,
Right.
high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, they call it. So not only do you get the sugar from obvious places, but you get it from like salad dressing, the bars, the little smoothies, the
Everything.
granolas, the sugar, the cereals, pasta sauce. If you look at the label, you're going to see corn syrup on there, or you're going to see sugar. Second ingredient most of the time. So eating natural sugars from fruits, whole grains, you know, this, and vegetables, this is acceptable. This is, God made it, so you can have it, all right? But when you have the added sugars from the processed foods or the additional added sugars put into foods to make them taste good, then that's where you're going to be getting in trouble. And they said that, I'm going to read some of this because it's so important. Some studies of people who previously ate large amounts of sugar decided to give it up have experienced withdrawal symptoms, and we've talked about that a lot. These symptoms include anxiety, depression, irritability, mood swings. This means that sugar alters your brain chemistry and easily leads to an addiction, which we know that. It's the same as cocaine on the brain. You get a serious addiction to sugar. So what happens is what they're recommending here, and I don't know, I forget who wrote this article, but they're recommending that humans eat no more than 9.5 teaspoons of sugar per day.
Oh my God.
We laugh because I don't eat a quarter of a teaspoon of sugar. I don't even eat a pinch of sugar a day. I don't eat that sugar. I don't eat sugar.
They're thinking people cannot live without it.
Well, you'll see as I get through this what they say. Currently, the average American adult consumes 22 teaspoons of sugar, but the average American child consumes 32 teaspoons of sugar. That is horrific. It's a crime. And this is put out by the American Heart Association. So let's talk about what happens to you. There's 7 things that they talked about in this article that can happen to your body when you decide to stop eating sugar. Number 1, you'll have a healthier heart. This is important.
Yeah.
This is very important.
You know, just to interrupt for a minute, didn't we have another article in the room that said they're considering, and I've heard this before, the heart could be the second brain?
Oh, that's...
I mean, we've known this for a long time, right?
I've known
But
that
did you
for
just
35
post?
years.
Somebody posted.
I did.
Okay. So you're looking at the fact that it's going to help your heart when you get off of sugar?
Well...
You're going to help your second brain.
Right. Listen to this. Your risk from dying of heart disease will decrease by 3 times if you stop sugar. According to the research, now this is from research from James DiNicolantonio, who's a cardiovascular research scientist at St. Luke's Mid-Atlantic Heart Institute in Kansas City, Missouri. Added sugar raises insulin levels. We know this. You get a spike. Insulin will take down the high sugar level when you secrete insulin is when your sugar level is high in your blood, and it brings it down to a normal level. That's why insulin is released, and we call it a spike. Added sugar raises insulin levels. It activates the sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is the same part of your nervous system that is activated when you're running from the bear, running for your life.
Fight or flight.
You're running for your life from the bear in the forest, okay? In turn, raising your blood pressure and heart rate. It raises your blood pressure and heart rate. DiNicolantonio, I love his name, says that in just a few weeks of giving it up, your LDL, which is your low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, which is the bad one. We want that one to go
L
low.
for lethal.
Could go down about 10%, okay, in just a few weeks. Additionally, your triglycerides could decrease by 20 to 30%, and also your blood pressure will drop. Added sugar listen to this, puts an enormous strain on your heart because your body must work hard to process it. A high sugar diet causes the liver to work on overdrive as well, pumping more fat into the bloodstream. This is why you get the fatty liver. The focus of heart disease in the past has largely been due to saturated fats and cholesterol. You know, like they say, don't eat saturated fats like in eggs and beef and, and these things that contain saturated fat, especially beef, meats and stuff. And it causes cholesterol, right? Even eggs, they were saying. But the truth is that studies have shown sugar consumption is a much higher risk, much greater risk to heart problems. Not only that, but the sugar is what causes the cholesterol, the hardening of the arteries, they call it. The deposits of cholesterol into your vessels because of the inflammation it causes. So we'll get to that in a minute. Now that picture that was put up, your skin will clear up. This is very interesting. I have to read this because this is there's bullets here that are so informative.
Yeah, and we have some comments that are coming up, and everything that you're saying It's like with Coach Jennifer. She goes, I know my heart is healthier. I had an irregular heartbeat.
Exactly. Okay.
And
so
then now she doesn't.
Right. So if you have skin problems like acne, it could be attributed to too much sugar. In fact, one study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that when people who normally did not drink carbonated vegetable beverages drank one 12-ounce can a day for 3 weeks, their inflammation levels went up 87%.
Oh.
That's only one soda a day.
People
for 3
don't
weeks.
realize what they're doing to themselves.
This inflammation can lead to the skin problems because the body considers sugar a toxin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If the liver can't process it and you don't sweat it out, inflammation will show up on the skin in the form of acne and other blemishes.
Oh, yeah. You probably see other things such as eczema and psoriasis.
Sugar causes glycation, a process where sugar binds with collagen and elastin in the skin. So it actually binds underneath the skin. Collagen and elastin are two proteins that help maintain the skin's youthful, glowing appearance. Cutting back on sugar will help the body keep these proteins intact. How about not cutting back? How about give it up?
Right. No, do 9.5 teaspoons only. Wait. Say that again. The sugar
binds with the
collagen
and elastin,
the elastin.
which is why you get the blemish. It's all clogged up. We knew it was clogged.
Right. And that makes sense because sometimes they say your cells stick together and then it holds the oils in.
Well,
That's
now
a genetic situation, but you're exacerbating it with
there's
this.
puberty also. There's hormones that related acne, but most of the kids you see older in their 20s or so, they're drinking sodas and they're eating a ton of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And the junk food out there and the fast food all has sugar in it, added sugar.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You see them with horrible acne.
And sometimes it's all over
They
their
get it
body.
on their backs,
Yeah.
especially. Yeah. Okay, number 3, you'll greatly lower your risk of developing diabetes. That's a given. But eating the added sugar causes fatty deposits to be deposited around your liver. We know that, which can attribute to insulin resistance and cause your pancreas to work on overdrive. My mother was not a doctor, but she used to say, to her relatives, she says, you better stop eating sugar because your pancreas is going to burn out and you're going to end up a diabetic.
Wow.
Well, that's exactly what it says here. The pancreas normally helps slow down production of insulin, but if you constantly pump sugar into the body, the pancreas and liver won't be able to keep up. In a study of sugar consumption in 175 nations, Dr. Robert Lustig, professor of pediatrics in the Division of Endocrinology at the University of California, San Francisco. Well, insulin is a hormone also.
Right.
But puberty hormones.
Right. Say that 3 times
the
fast.
puberty hormones can also attribute. But they found that 150 calories of added sugar increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 11 times.
Now that's the number
compared
one
to
cause.
eating the same amount of calories of fat or protein.
So that's the number 1 cause of death in Mexico, and now it's like the number 2 cause of death in America because it's type 2 diabetes,
right?
Which everybody's killing themselves. But what I wanted to say about this as well is, people think that, they're not. I used to say, if God made it, eat it. If man made it, read it. Everything has sugar in it, so
you have to read the labels. If it says sugar, put it down.
But even if it says like natural sugar or organic cane
sugar, raw sugar, maltodextrin, corn syrup, whatever. You don't want it. Sucrose is we did a podcast on this. The different names for sugars.
Right.
Look it up. You'll see and watch that because it's very informative. Okay, number 4 is you're going to feel happier.
Mm-hmm.
You might feel on top of the world once you eat that sugar, man. You're high flying. You're on you're wow. But then what happens? Boom. You get the spike and then boom. This is what you see with kids. That, I had friends that gave their children Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Oh. Iced Pop-Tarts.
Oh, yeah.
And what happens to these kids? They feel great. They feel great when they go, but then what happens? They crash and they start having cravings again. And the happiness you felt from the sugar only sticks around for a short time and it disappears, only making you want more from the cravings. A Columbia University study found that women who ate a lot of added sugars had a higher likelihood of experiencing mood swings, anxiety, depression, and irritability. If you want more stable emotions without the awful withdrawal symptoms that we mentioned earlier, take sugar out of your diet, period.
Thus the book Sugar Blues.
Right. Number 5, you will have much better sleep. Added sugar increases cortisol levels in the body, which can disrupt sleep at night. That's where you get your belly, your big, fatty belly, and you can get a fat pad on your back too.
And under your chin.
Plus, the crashes you feel when the sugar wears off will leave you sleepy during the day and wanting to take a nap. Sugar disrupts the central nervous system. It disrupts the central nervous system, which causes fluctuation in energy levels and sleep cycles. After giving up sugar, you'll sleep better at night and feel more alert during the day. Okay, number 6, your memory will improve. Well, that makes sense. It's messing with your brain and brain function. Sugar will lead to cognitive impairment. Oh, man. Age is bad enough to lose your memory and cognition.
No, but what about our kids in school?
Exactly. I mean, that's why the kids
And that's all they're
don't do
doing.
well.
And every Friday it's Pizza Friday, and then they get ice cream and candy.
And they call it brain fatigue.
Yeah.
It's brain fatigue. One animal study at UCLA, my alma mater, found that diets high in sugar hinder memory and learning. Hinder it. So, for God's sake, don't give your children these Cocoa Puffs and Captain Crunch and all the box cereals have sugar in them. All of them. I don't think there's one that doesn't have sugar in it. So do not give them those box cereals.
They couldn't sell it if they didn't. It would just be cardboard.
It's hard for them. It's hard enough for kids to learn anyway. They're so, they sit around and their attention span is so low. To hinder their learning and cognitive function by giving them sugar is just not good. The study also concluded that eating a lot of sugar may damage communication between brain cells. It might be because the influx of sugar disrupts the delicate balance of chemicals. That makes sense, which can lead to lethargy and mental exhaustion. Number 7, you'll lose weight when you give up sugar.
That's number 1 to me.
It's empty calories.
It's a no-brainer.
And sugar, we know, puts fat on, period. You eat sugar, you're going to create fat cells. That's it. You eat a sugary treat, you probably notice you feel hungry within an hour of eating it, right? You have a lot of calories, but no nutrition. So what do people do? They graze. Watch kids. Kids that eat sugar, what do? They start grazing. They start eating everything in sight. But really what they want is more sugar.
Snacking on chips after that.
Junk.
They do the pendulum swing.
They need this.
But they'll do the pendulum. They'll do the sugar to the They'll do to the salt. They'll go back and forth.
And the starch, because the starch will give them that spike also. So cutting back on sodas and bread. See, here's what they say. Cutting back on sodas and bread will decrease your daily caloric intake by a few hundred calories. And it says dial back on sugary snacks and spending hours in the gym to burn off those excess calories is not going to work.
No.
So it's your brain and your waistline that is the problem. So they give you some tips here, and they tell you to start tapering off. What we say is get off. Stop. Cold turkey, get off. You'll get within 3 to 10 days, you're going to be fine.
Well, let me interject real quick.
Well, let me finish this study and I'll be done.
Okay.
In one study involving children who gave up added sugars, they started feeling a positive effect within 1 week. Children. Right. A team of researchers at University of California, San Francisco, noticed a 33-point decrease in triglyceride levels on the average, and the bad cholesterol, LDL, low density lipoproteins, went down 5 points, as well as
good.
diastolic blood pressure. That's the lower number. In only 10 days, all of the children who participated in the study significantly decreased their risk of developing type 2 diabetes. They have that in bold. And they're also recommending that instead of, take your lunch to work, take it from home. Take healthy foods to work to have your lunch. Do not eat out. Do not eat vending machines. Or if you eat out occasionally and eat healthy. But these people tell you, let's start cutting back on you can't, okay, if you're a heroin addict, opiate addict, let's start cutting back the heroin. That's not going to work. That doesn't work.
No,
you
makes
have to
it actually
stop.
worse.
You have to stop completely, cut it out, and you'll go through a few days of discomfort, and then maybe a week, and then you're done. And then you don't want it.
Okay, but
ahead,
on Flush Your Fat for Good, when you start the lifestyle, within 72 hours, you don't have the cravings anymore.
No.
And what you just said about, let's taper back heroin,
or cocaine,
opioids,
no.
I'm on, let's just say you're doing oxycodone.
Well,
or
cocaine
anything like
and
that,
all these things are opiates. So
yeah, but the
that's why
thing
I
is,
said,
cocaine's a stimulant, but the opioids affect the pleasure center in your brain,
right,
or the nucleus accumbens.
and very high addiction.
So when you start tapering it off, the problem is the brain starts to panic.
Yep.
And that means, oh my God, I'm not getting what I need, what I want. This is what gives me pleasure.
Right.
So if you're not getting pleasure for the brain, this part of your brain, then everything goes haywire. Same thing with sugar. You cannot taper off sugar, but what you can do is when you do Flush Your Fat for Good, it becomes all the protein keeps your blood sugar up. And what happens when you're doing this lifestyle, yes, you are correct. Some people that are total sugar addicts, then yes, they'll start to have a little bit of an effect, maybe headache or irritable.
You do.
And when you see real addicts, because sugar is like cocaine on the brain, yeah, they're going to have a little bit of a struggle. But the great news is they can do their cran flush. They can do their goat yogurt and nuts. They can eat a lot of the protein to maintain their blood sugar staying stable. There's a lot of things.
We can minimize that with protein
and
intake.
The fruit.
Yes.
The 2 servings
fruit.
of fruit
Right.
allows you to taper off the sugar by keeping your own body stable. And you're now down here and you're completely off. You're off sugar immediately on this lifestyle. But by the 3rd or 4th day, you don't even miss it.
Right. And, you want to make a decision. You don't want to say, I just got back. Oh, and then today you say, I got to have this.
Well, that's what happens.
You want to make a decision. I am going to stop now and go through the terror barrier. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go get off it right now. That's it. Make your decision. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Coach Jennifer said, stop cold turkey.
That's
all in caps. The thing is, you have to, because like
it's
what you just said, and the pleasure, it's in that nucleus accumbens of your brain, where the pleasure center is. You start taping off sugar, by the time you hit the weekend, you are now, oh my God, I have to have more sugar than I've ever had.
Or something tragic happens, or you had something happen, that, you're so upset. Oh, the heck with it.
Just give me a treat.
But
basically, it's the addiction that we're talking about, because
that's
is
the addiction.
So you have to stop cold turkey.
Right.
But that's why we're promoting Flush Your Fat for Good.
Correct.
Because of all the damage that you just heard of about what sugar can do. People are doing it every single day.
Remember, the body considers sugar poison.
Right.
It's right here.
And, this is why we're promoting our book for you all to read and get the bundles so that you can give it as gifts, because this is important for parents to learn so that they can feed their children better.
Starts with the kids.
This is important for if you have a loved ones and you care about them, get the bundles so that you can give them the gift of being lean and healthy for life. We have a coaching series that we're excited about to share with everyone, so that if you want to learn all this knowledge and more,
Yes.
it's like 60 combined years on our website. It's a coaching course, and 7 modules. You don't have to take it to want to be a coach, but it'll allow you to be in control of your own life and your family's life and your destiny as far as being lean and healthy for life. And you can always help others if you wish. Those people that are really in the healthcare field, they love our coaching course. Another thing is we have senior coaches now. We have certified senior coaches. They are now, you can, if you feel like you need somebody to help you through this, to get you started because you're so new at making changes or this is not a diet, this is a lifestyle, but to get started on the lifestyle, we have senior coach Jennifer, we have senior coach Katie, and we have senior coach Sue. And you can see them when you go up to the top of our page in our website, and you'll see it's one-on-one coaching. So you can get them for 1 hour, and they can get you started and help you right off the bat.
Yeah,
it's
just
like
get
holding
you
your
going.
hand and say, okay, sit down. This is what you're going to do.
Exactly.
Or some people need that.
No,
you
it's
know?
a consultation.
Yeah. And another thing is you can get them for a whole month. Sometimes you can, I mean, if you need, go for 2 or 3 more months.
Yeah, you could do
because
2
if
or
you
3
have,
sessions.
well, if you have 100+ pounds to lose, it really behooves you to have your counselor with you all the time. And these ladies have been around the block. They have,
they've done it. They're products of this lifestyle and been for years.
Yeah, and they've experienced severe weight, over 100 pounds. They've had health issues. They've had gut issues. They've also had been able to lose the weight, get pregnant, have babies, keep the weight off, and have another baby. They've gone through life with this lifestyle.
Right.
So going and getting somebody to help you. Now, you might not want to say, you're saying, oh my God, in 3 more days it's Thanksgiving, and then we have Christmas and Hanukkah, and then whatever. Check it out, get the book, and then start with January 1st, 2020. Get going. Because what's happening is the fact that some of the things you're doing to yourself, you don't even know what you're doing to yourself that's going to shorten your life or hurt your children's lives. With the 7 things that you just heard about with what sugar does, go into your cabinet and look into the pantry of everything you have in there. Turn it around, and if God made it, eat it. If man made it, read it, and then throw it in the trash that's right there.
If it says sugar, get rid of it.
Any kind of sugar.
And I just want to say real quick, we have 2 phases. We have a rapid fat loss phase, which is phase 1, that gets it off fast and safely. And then we have phase 2, which you can have by this time you're good, and you can have an occasional birthday cake. You can have whatever you want. But
but we see
down the road.
That's the key. Phase 1 is boot camp.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That is getting the fat off like yesterday.
Right.
And that's where you do you just stop everything that's killing you. But in the meantime, your body switches around and you start burning the fat for fuel.
Right.
Because you're living off your fat.
It's a wonderful
and you're feeding your body in a way that you haven't fed yourself. And it's amazing because it's so remarkable how you sleep, how you think, the energy that you have. Your digestion, absorption, and elimination is totally focused in this lifestyle. And then once you've got all your fat off that you feel like you really like the way you look and you're ready to go into phase 2, then we teach you how to add some of these starches in and some of the natural healthy sugars in. And then if you're going to a special event and you want to have some alcohol, you want to have some dessert, you know exactly how to do it.
Yeah, it's life.
It's like a stick shift on a car. If you want to go into, you want to drive, you have to put the clutch in and then put it into first gear, right?
Proper gears.
Okay, and then you have to release the clutch, and then you have to go into second, then in third. But if you want to reverse, you've got to put the clutch in again, and then you have to go into the R where it says reverse. The thing is, in order for you not to destroy your stick shift car, you have to learn how to work those handles and the clutch. Same thing with your body. If you learn how to work this lifestyle appropriately, you never struggle again.
Never.
You know exactly what to do so that you're lean and healthy for life. On top of that, some of the things you just heard in here, good Lord. I mean, and your guy that's working on your house right now,
he's a new man.
His mother or grandmother died?
Aunt.
His aunt. Okay, so she had a fatty liver. She never knew.
Never
right?
know, but you don't know. You just don't know. It's like a silent
She never
killer.
drank. She died.
Who would have thought that she would die of cirrhosis? She never drank a drop.
But this is the problem. This is what people are doing, and they don't know, oh, is it too much? Oh, well, you know.
They don't think it's
what
bad.
What did you say the recommendation is 9.5 teaspoons?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon.
700 calories is a cup of sugar. So 2 sodas.
That's what they're doing. But right now, they're recommending
9.5 tablespoons.
No, they're recommending 3.5 tablespoons.
Right. That's way too much.
You know what?
That's
right about now. That'd make me throw up.
Oh, you can't.
That's horrible.
That's not good. Should be 0 sugar.
Yeah.
And if you get a trace by accident, so be it. That won't hurt you. But you have to consciously avoid it at all costs. You see it, you read the label and you see it, nope, I can't buy that.
Yeah, but you
That's what I
will if
teach
you go
people.
on this lifestyle.
Yeah.
This lifestyle supports it so beautifully because I'm telling you, the 72 hours after that, you can go right into a bakery
pretty
shop
good.
and you don't care.
Yeah, right.
So we want to encourage you guys to also look at our supplements that really assist in rapid, safe fat loss. These are essential fatty acids, and these GLA and CLA come with the book, the workbook, and all the charts, along with a free month of our VIP membership on the website that gives you access to over how many videos we have on there? 23 videos, I believe.
I think.
And 101
Educational
audios. That is a great way to get started.
Yes.
Set yourself up and get ready for January.
Oh,
if you're not ready at the end of November and December, set yourself up, start reading it to where you really know that you're going to get going and change your life.
You owe it to yourself and your loved ones
Right.
to check it out.
So we want to thank you guys for joining us. Thanks, everybody. Martha joined us, Jennifer,
Please
Kathleen,
share this podcast
Katie, and
with your friends.
yes.
And we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and remember, you don't have to eat bad to have a good time. We love you and God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.